today I'm going to break down some of the moments that I feel that I didn't do that well when I was doing a podcast, especially as a host. I feel really cringe. I feel like I didn't do a good job. And at these few moments, you would kind of like figure out that I was a little bit too rush. I was a little bit too disruptive. So, I mean, yeah, it's a good review and a good reminder to myself. So let's get on to it.
A digestible system. Okay, I know what I mean. Too many of a good food on table. Then now it's just like, how am I gonna call it?
No, it's all raw ingredients, not plated, not cooked yet. I feel like the first thing that when someone is hosting a podcast or like even in a normal conversation, it's always better not to interrupt or like even start the sentence by saying no. I heard it somewhere on YouTube when I was listening to some podcasts. They say that the response or like the way that we should lead a conversation nicer will be and so instead of but or instead of no. So that's something that I need to work on, and I feel like over here,
How am I gonna call it?
no, it's all raw. When Yin Tong was like trying to tell me, like he was sharing like, oh, so now these are the contents that I have a lot of contents already. I feel like a better way to actually rephrase this is not no, it should be and so, and that I could like lead on the whole sentence by saying, and I feel that is where I need to use these raw ingredients and play it out nicely for my audience to see. Instead of just no. Oh no, I realized that was something I feel very like, shit, I shouldn't have said that. You know, like there's sometimes or like some moments or like some conversation just felt like I shouldn't have said that, or like yeah, I have that a lot in my span of like conversation this year. So yeah, something to work on for upcoming podcasts. Should use more and so or like positive enforcement words.
Then when can we sort of like help you out?
Now,
Okay. Yeah, because I still don't know where to plant ourselves apart from all this lah. Like I think in the more tangible way to make the process slightly clearer.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So we have to really dig. I need to really dig your memory muscle, okay? So at this moment, I felt like I had a solution, and I want to just, send it to him and like just tell him my solution, right? But I think a wiser approach is to ask instead of like being so confident or being so assertive in what I think is the best. This is almost like a mini slamming on the table and saying that this is what I know. Listen up. So yeah, every time like when I look through certain parts of my podcast or my conversation with people, I realize that I need to readjust my frame of mind, choice of words. If I could do it better, I would just like very graciously and lead on to like, and I would like to revisit some moments that I've done that like, and I would like to revisit. So the word and would like to and asking the person, what do you think? Because his position was like he doesn't know how to be of help at the moment, which Yan Tong from Heart to Heart Story has been very helpful in contributing to this journey, because when I started doing this documentary or this behind the scene contents, I am clueless. Like, how can I plate this? How can I put this together? So right now is more like I thought, in this conversation I could just graciously lead the person to tell me what he thinks of, or how a better way of doing things, then to assert myself, and then like, yeah, so now is the time, like, just working on it, yeah.
We didn't grab the exact moment that we want, but still we had to let them know and set it up for them lah. I think that's our approach.
Summarize this point. Hectic day. Groom was nervous. You're trying to create an experience for them to calm themselves down. Okay, so I thought, like, to help the edit, I wanted him to summarize things for me. Again, not a very gracious host, trying to put things in control again, trying to ask a person to say in how you wanted it. Imagine you going to people's house and then you just want to do things your way. You want to, not a very, very good way to host a conversation. Could you summarize it? Like, I think a better way to do this would be helping them, like even saying words like, alright, help me to understand. The day was hectic. The groom was, all over the place, and, blah, blah, blah. Just like helping the person to recollect, and then bring the conversation to just carry on the conversation nicely. Then to like, alright, summarize it. Painful to just watch myself and feel terrible. Yeah, but let's see the next one that I picked up.
Groom cried first, then the bride saw, then it's more like she felt it also, then she started. Yeah.
So there's one thing that there's one thing that I feel from the industry, or like for everybody, there's a secret sauce. There's a secret formula to this.
What, this as in?
Whole entire wedding approach. So is there a secret thing? Is there something you do that is like your secret formula in this wedding? You know how I feel like I'm always putting my foot in my mouth. Just to rush. Maybe because I thought like we only have 1 hour and I wanted to get this done, and I want to get it done professionally, but I was too rushed that I don't even know the question, and then I just and what, how, like, I think I need to calm my shit down. I need to calm myself down. And because I'm so rushed, I'm so like hot-headed and keep putting my foot in my mouth, I couldn't form that sentence, that question properly. And you get to see that a lot in the whole conversation. Like, I would say a quarter part of the sentence or half of the sentence, then I'm trying to figure out like how can I put this sentence together. Yeah. Shit. It reminds me of how when I first started editing a video, and I was like all over the place. I wanted this, I wanted that, I wanted to do this, and it's almost like an ADD kind of video where you are like jumping all over the place, and for this kind of like conversation, I feel like you have to graciously bring a conversation to the next one, without feeling like you're interrupting it. I don't know. I'm learning. That's why I'm doing this review, right? Like I'm trying to like get my shit together. I'm trying to look at things from an audience perspective, and I feel like this Kenneth here is pretty doing a really terrible job.
To seeing more emotional side, they are much more able to receive the signal of like what is important to the bride.
And even so, as a user experience, you can imagine, Tangi, right, follow the bride, right, throughout. Then the bride will feel like there's somebody dealing on, right, compared to a guy.
Yeah.
A guy leading a guy. Okay, bro, I trust you. Yeah, what do you need me to do? What can I do better so that you can get your stuff? So both approach is very different. Kenneth have to switch on the bride role. I need to play 2 roles. You guys need to play your own role. Be Yen Song, be Tangi. This was a really good point. A good point that I feel like that is hard, unique selling point of having 2 different gender approaching the wedding in 2 different user experience. But again, you can tell that I was very assertive. Like, there you see, I know one. It will definitely work. This is really a bad trait, and even for myself, sometimes when people tell me things that is like very certain and they're very confident that it's gonna work, I'm just like, chill, man, chill. Like, let's bring down our expectation 50% and just like do our best. I just feel like, I would rephrase it like how amazing it is, right, to have a guy, giving that guy's experience to the groom, and a girl to give that lady's experience for the bride. And that is the amazing part of like heart-to-heart story. You have 2 different user experience, and you see 2 different perspective in one brand, versus like myself, like, I have to keep switching the roles of like 2 different perspective, and I think that is the beauty of a couple team, and make them feel positive enforcement, like have some positive enforcement into this whole conversation, then to assert it and like, you see, I feel like, yeah, I need to rephrase that. And well, I hope you learned something from what I just shared, and I think this is my first few, like, I did an interview with Yen Tong in the studio. I did, of course, like, few conversation with a few of the creative, but yeah, even let me just try to finish that sentence. I did a few conversations, I did a few podcasts, I did a few interviews with people, and I find that I am a little bit ashamed to actually put it out online, because it's not as polished, not as like clean, or like as elegant, or like as professional as I thought it is. So reviewing this podcast bit by bit, and looking at those small little things that I need to work on, is a good reflection for myself. Like, I want to do better. I want to provide, a good conversation and host it graciously. And yeah, it's so fun to listen to some YouTube podcast and like, it's a good like listening orgasm, but man, the work behind all these things is so I hope you learned something from all this, and I looking forward. I'm looking forward to share with you more insights that I have from this conversation. It's a good year-end reflection between me and Yen Tong, and I hope that 2024 will be a great year for us. I want to get better and better, and I look forward to the day that I can graciously host you